This is a Rogue Media Network production.
Stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas, the prairie skies are wide and high. Deep in the heart of Texas, deep in the heart of Texas.
Why, hello there, and welcome to
Wow.
King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I am still rusty.
Still rusty. Rusty, it is a Sunday, and we are recording, and I think we can chalk that up to God's will.
Yeah,
you know,
may as well be done.
and too with you. All right, so we are looking at season 9, episode 3. This
is unique because, again, we have the season 8 production code. So this is another one of the holdovers. So really, if you look at season 9 and season 10, they're kind of littered with these random production numbers for different episodes and stuff like that.
So what's the production number on this one? Because I didn't find it.
It is 8 ABE 18.
8 ABE 18, or in the year of our Lord. All right, so it originally aired January 16th, 2005. It's called Death Buys a Timeshare. Hank accompanies Cotton and Bill to Mexico to keep them from buying into a timeshare, and Peggy, Dale, and Bobby sneak into swimming pools during a heat wave. It is it's a bottle episode. It's a stand on its own kind of thing. You can use it anytime, evergreen kind of stuff.
The reason why it stands on its own is because of how the production is. So I actually got some cool information for you a little bit on this one. So the way it ends up working out on this episode is it's actually, since its production number is kind of off and kind of weird, it actually runs better with the episode Dale Tech, because Topsy's death, if you remember, was referenced in the Dale Tech episode.
True.
This goes in front of the Dale Tech episode, is supposedly is what is the production order numbers. And so Topsy dies way back then, so now Cotton is handling the funeral. So there's like this continuity kind of nod to it a little bit or whatever. But also the cool thing about this episode is you have two writers, or the directors. You have Boo Wan Lim and Young Hee Lim, and they actually worked on another good episode, Won't You Pee My Neighbor, Pie My Neighbor, however you say it. They won a 2000 Annie Award for that.
That's the one where Bobby's the monk, right? He's the Dalai Lama.
Yes. Yeah. I believe so.
Or whatever.
I believe that's the one. So yeah, they're an award-winning directing team that did it. And also the writer again is Eaton Cohen. He is the one who produced scripts for Beavis and Butthead, Idiocracy. That's the one I was trying to think of. He did Idiocracy and Tropic Thunder. He co-wrote Tropic Thunder too.
Wow. That's two pretty damn good movies, honestly, as far as comedy goes.
Yeah, and the only guests in this one are the Danny Trejo, obviously, but one that's not as
Danny Trejo has like 3 words in this thing, you know.
Yeah, very, very small cameo. One that's not really known in this one is Sal Lopez.
Who's that?
He plays the role of employee, first mate, and waiter in this episode. But Sal Lopez is a veteran actor, I guess. He's been in a lot of different things. He was actually, I want to say he was The Rock in Full Metal Jacket. The guy that called himself THE Rock, that kid or whatever. Yeah, he played him in Full Metal Jacket. He's been in a lot of different stuff, just little, characters and stuff like that here and there. I don't think he's been in anything as any huge roles for himself. But either way, he's similar to Danny Trejo, as he's a Hispanic man who has played a lot of
Hispanic character actor
roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a reference in this that not a lot of people would get, I would think, where Cotton brings up Cotton Floss, the comedian, the Mexican comedian, and I want to talk a little bit about that once we get to it. It is he's kind of the influence for the Bumblebee Man and all that kind of stuff, and so Cotton Floss.
Oh, talking about the Bumblebee Man from
Simpsons, yeah.
The Simpsons, yeah.
But Cotton Floss was a huge, like comedic, dramatic actor. Well, I'll talk more about it when we get there. But okay.
Yeah, well, I was gonna just do the air date and everything real fast. So
Yeah,
this aired January the 16th. I guess 2005 is where we're at now.
It is 2005, yeah.
A 7 p.m. airing. I actually have the Nielsen. I've been getting the Nielsen viewership for it. So actually 4.38 million people watch this episode, and this should be about episode 174, I believe.
I don't know if that's good or bad. The 1.378 million or whatever.
4.38 million, probably not good considering they're on the ropes at this point. I think it's at the end of season 9 or season 10 where you get that episode of the wedding and the see all the faces and stuff, where they kind of ended the show but kicked it back up after I'm pretty sure it's like the end of season 9 or season 10.
I think Nielsen is a funny kind of thing to look at, especially these days. Nielsen used to be a rating system where they would mail you a book, and it was on an honor system that you would write down everything that you watch, which is just such a inaccurate way to measure things. But on top of that, now they still go by some ratings, and the ratings are just not what they used to be. So, for instance, a show that maybe got 10 million people to watch at one point, now they're happy if they can get 1 million, because it's changed so much.
Well, you're getting millions of views on the internet for YouTube channels, so it's like it's definitely changed.
When you look at something like NBC, you got your normal NBC channel, but then you've got Peacock on top of that, and they're basically competing against themselves. And that's the part I don't really understand. I mean, I would think shit or get off the pot, but
no, for sure.
You
could go back and look at all the ratings for stuff like Johnny Carson, which had he had the highest ratings of all of TV when he was on. And then you go look at Mr. Beast's videos and how many views he gets. More human beings on earth have seen Mr. Beast than Johnny Carson at the height of his career. So it's insane how global everything is.
It is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. But TV still holds a huge grip on people. But I think TV to us now is more of just an entertainment machine. It's not a localized news machine anymore. News used to be what drove TV.
Yeah, and shout out to the San Antonio Spurs. Sports,
thank you. Yeah,
is the only thing that drives TV these days. I think sports is the only thing that people have television for is live sports.
I was looking the game 6, I believe they said. No, game 1 of this series had more viewers than this year's Super Bowl, which is friggin' amazing when you think about it, because it was a basketball game for a series that could go 7 games. So it was a hell of a game.
A semifinal series at that. It's not even the finals.
Yeah.
I imagine this will be one of the bigger finals, probably viewership.
I would think so, because you're going to play Madison Square Garden, plus you got Wemby. I mean, that's, on both sides, you've got huge viewerships.
Yeah, it's going to go 4-0, though. I think it's going to get boring pretty quick.
I don't know. We'll see.
I think the Spurs are going to put a licking on them.
We shall see. I'm going to pretend like I didn't hear that. All right. So we start in Arlen. We've got that beautiful overview of all of Arlen, with the sun beating down on them and stuff. But we see the water tower and the whole thing. It kind of scrolls over, and we get a man in a pool. Then we get some kids playing in a water hose. And then we see Bobby and Lady Bird underneath the tree, and he's panting with the dog like he's hot. And then Peggy's back at the table, and kind of in their backyard behind the sliding glass, and she is just boiling.
Boiling hot.
We go over. Oh, I can't imagine a sweaty Peggy. Imagine sweaty Peggy feet. That is,
Oh,
that's just gotta be a
nah.
cesspool, just a cesspool. Um, Now we go over to all four of the guys in the alley, and it's pretty hot. You can tell they're hot. Bill says, "Hot enough for you?" He goes, "Shut up, Bill. You said that 3 times." And then they hear a gunshot. They go, "Ah!" He goes, "What the dang?" And they turn, and there's Cotton standing there with a like an army helmet and a war rifle in his hands, and he goes, "Damn, you should have seen your faces." Uh, and Dale says, "Very witty, Colonel. What brings you out of this humble alley this afternoon?" "Well, all the money I inherited from Topsy's estate got me to thinking. Topsy's dead. I lived my last. I lost my last friend. Dang, makes a man feel invincible." I'm not sure that's the way you're supposed to feel. Like if all your friends die, that you're invincible. That seems
That sounds awful, don't
a
it?
little
Yeah.
heavy-handed there. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Dale says, "Congratulations on once again outrunning the Reaper, sir." Oh, you know what? Hey, just real quick, shout out to Brazos Tankersley and Sheridan, who both work for us at Rogue
Yeah.
Media. They started a little club, I guess, out of a storage building over on Dallas Street here in Waco. It's called
Okay.
Reapers, as in like Grim Reapers.
Yeah.
And I went over there. Casey, my buddy Casey, and I went over there the other night just to see what they were doing over there. And they have used pallets and free things and all this stuff to build a little room where they probably had 60 people in there in a single little storage building watching 4 bands play, sweat their ass off for $5 a pop to everybody. I just want to give them a shout out and tell them how
That's
proud
awesome.
I am of them for setting something like that up. This
It's
is an
kind of funny
ongoing
because
thing for them.
it's a DIY music venue,
It
but
is
it's at 420 Dallas Street.
$420 Street. That's right.
And if you know about Dallas Street, lock your cars.
Hmm. Well, it is in a fenced-in place, and
I'm just kidding. It's not that bad over there anymore. It used to be a pretty
it
rough
can be.
neighborhood.
There were 2 guys over there the other night, that, like, right down from it where they fix cars or something, and
Oh yeah.
if you know anything about the kind of music that, these kids are playing, it's a lot of punk, it's a lot of hard stuff,
Oh yeah.
and the girls tend to dress very sexy emo kinda stuff, right? And so,
Okay.
these 2 guys down there that spray paint cars or whatever, they were just staring, and then when I say staring, I mean, like, "Make sure y'all leave as a group," kinda staring, that kinda
They're
thing.
probably like, who in the hell are all these white kids in the neighborhood?
It was a little rough. It was a little rough.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
That's cool
so
though, yeah.
he goes, "Congratulations on once again outrunning the Reaper, sir. It gets better than that. Topsy left me $10,000 to take care of his funeral. So after the cremation and the ash bag, I'm still up $9,920. So it's $80 to cremate a guy and put him in a bag."
That's
Uh,
it's actually a little
uh,
more expensive than that. It actually costs about 900.
yeah, it costs a bit. We just had to do that with my mom, and
We just did
we
it with
put
my
her.
uncle. Yeah, it was like 980 or 990
Yeah,
or something in Houston.
we
Yeah.
she's in a very tasteful pine box, a tiny little pine box. So, okay. He says, "Well, that's great, Dad. You can finally get your Cadillac car back from Lane Pratley, so you don't have to keep taking the bus everywhere. Heck, I bet you'll have enough left over to buy a certificate of deposit." He goes, "Car payments, CDs, that ain't good enough for Topsy. I'm going to use the money to do what he would have done. Uh, he'll raise it and girl chase it." So he just wants to spend all the money chasing women. He goes, "And I'm going to need someone to help me. Fatty," points at Bill. He goes, "Yes, sir." He goes, "You still in the army?" "Sergeant Barber, sir." He goes, "Fatty, you're my new friend. Congratulations." He says, "Really? Me? Thank you, sir. What are we going to do first? Should I change my shirt? Take my shirt off? Can I get a new shirt?" I mean, he is all in just as soon as he points at him. Come on, Bill. You're coming on this ride with me.
Yeah, he is. You're on the
Later,
way, Bill.
later, yeah. If Cotton, Lane Pratley, or Buck Strickland offer to be your friend, you need to go the other way. Those
Yeah, if they say
three.
get in the car, probably don't.
No, don't get in the car for any of those guys.
Get in
All
the
right, later
car.
on, we're in the alley, and now Bill is wearing one of those Mexican wedding shirts, just like Cotton always wears. And Cotton looks kind of bored, honestly, at this point, because some time has passed. And I guess he and Bill have done some stuff. And Bill says, he's continuing. He goes, so that Cotton says, I bet Fatty here can't eat 50 potatoes. And the bartender said, no way, which, of course, was a terrible insult on the Colonel's honor. Long story short, I was pronounced legally dead, but it was a heck of a weekend.
Yeah, that reminds me, that 50 potatoes thing reminds me of Cool Hand Luke, where he goes, if that
No
boy
man.
says he can eat 50 eggs, he can eat 50 eggs.
No man can eat 50 eggs.
No man can eat 50 eggs. If that boy says he can eat 50 eggs, he can eat, and then he ate all 50 of them. Yeah.
It's a great movie.
I wonder how many he actually ate.
Oh, it had to be like 2 or 3. It couldn't have been a ton. There's no way.
What if Paul Newman actually ate 50 eggs?
And that's what raised his cholesterol and what ultimately
they said he couldn't eat 50 eggs, but that one guy said that man said he can eat 50 eggs.
That man doesn't eat 50 eggs. Okay, so he said it was a heck of a weekend.
Oh wow. So he did not, it says he did not actually eat 50 eggs. He chewed them up and spit them out. And they said on screen he only ate about 8 eggs. But due to that film, they have provided over 200 hard-boiled eggs for that scene.
Huh. 200?
Yeah, just for the scene, I guess, just while they were shooting, however they did it. But yeah, he only actually ate 8 eggs.
That had to be a great smell. 200 boiled eggs just laying around.
Eating 8 eggs is crazy.
Yum, yum, yum. Okay, so Cotton says, yeah, we're there. What else you got to get into around here? Me and Topsy's money are getting bored. He goes, well, if you're looking for fun, I got a super long extension cord. We could see what would be like to make toast in the alley. Wow, what a fun thing, Dale. That's awesome.
That's wild.
He goes, nope. Only thing that makes sense in the head, places where the man at a marathon with $1 million can live like a king. He goes, suckling on God's giant teat, Mexico.
Okay.
And Bill says, margaritas and sangaritas. He goes, amen, fatty. Hank, of course, a little worried about this. What? No way. No way. Then Bill says, I got a brochure from a timeshare in Mexico. It looks beautiful. And he goes, you're going to buy a timeshare in Mexico? We don't have to buy. We can stay for free. And all we have to do is listen to a 20-minute information session. Cotton says,
oh,
perfect.
The old
we can save our money for hookers and bribing federales. He goes, Dad, we have good relations with Mexico right now. I'm not going to let you jeopardize that, especially when you should be doing something useful with that money. Bill says, don't worry, Hank, I'll be with him. That is not helpful, Bill, at all. Hank says, Bill, these timeshare people will clean you out. Now, okay, I'm okay making toast in the alley, but you two aren't going anywhere. Cotton says, you can't control your wife, and she's only half the man I am. Fatty, pack your most colorful pants. We're going to Mexico. Fatty, pack your most colorful pants. We're going to Mexico. There's your t-shirt.
That is a good one. There you go.
Have you ever been part of one of those timeshare things?
I fortunately that skipped my generation. I think that's more for Gen Xers and baby boomers. So my friend's mom, she had one to Silverleaf Resorts was the name of the company. And I don't know, they would take us when we were kids to these resorts with me and my buddy, and we would ride our bikes and play tennis and swim, and we didn't know the lack of fiscal responsibility that it takes to be a part of that, but we enjoyed the shit out of it. We went a handful of times as kids to just different ones around Texas, and it was cool.
Yeah, it's we tried to get one. Oh, we didn't try to get one. I knew about them the last time we went to Orlando. We were there for like a podcast convention or something. My wife went along with me because we were going to Harry Potter World and stuff that she really enjoys. And I wanted a cheap way to get into Universal, right? And so I saw a thing there by the hotel that if you listened to their speech or whatever, you would get free tickets to Universal. And so we went in, and knowing that we're not going to buy anything, we listened to their spiel, and then they took us into some of the little condo things. And then I'm telling you, Rusty, we were there for 4 hours. And we finally got our tickets. And we walked away with nothing.
Lifted your tickets. There you go.
But we got our tickets.
Yep. But they
So it
torture you for
can
4
work.
hours to get them, right?
Yeah, it can work, and there's some high pressure sales tactics that they use on you. But it ultimately, guys, a lot easier. Just buy the tickets. Okay.
Yeah, they're like, hey, sign this receipt here that for what you purchased today, and then they move it out the way. It's like, I got you with a contract.
Yeah,
instead."
it's
Yeah.
pretty damn close to that. Pretty damn
That's
close.
a stray pin mark. That counts. Yeah.
It's a hanging Chad. All right. So later in the kitchen, it's still hot as balls. There's fans in there. Bobby has frozen corn on his face. Peggy always looks like in this heat like this, like she's just going to pass out. She just looks like she is so exhausted by the heat. Um, we start with Bobby saying, "Oh, it's so hot. This corn is practically cooking." Peggy says, "Now, Bobby, the more you complain about the heat, the hotter it feels." Well, that's not true at all, but okay. Hank says, "I'm worried about my dad. I'm going to have to go down to that timeshare with him and make sure he doesn't do something crazy. Plus, I'll be babysitting Bill. His wages are still being garnished by Columbia House. The timeshare is the last thing he needs." Columbia House. Any experience with that ever?
No, I can't say that I have. That one I haven't.
Okay. Do you know what it is?
No, I don't. I don't know what that is at all. No.
So Columbia House used to be a mail order way of getting your cassettes and CDs. So you would join Columbia House, and like once a week or once every other week or whatever, they would send you 3 to 5 cassettes of new music, right? And you would have to pick the genres and stuff, and then they would send them to you. But Columbia House, you would get caught up into this contract that you couldn't get out of, where they're just going to keep on sending you stuff, and they're just going to keep on billing you for things. And so, you know, the first thing with Columbia House is you'd get like 20 brand new cassettes for a penny or whatever, you know, and you'd have to pay shipping to get them there. Once you got them there, then you were enrolled in that thing, and it was like a year-long thing or whatever, and you just kept getting shitty music sent to you in the mail. So Columbia House was one of those that was known for, you know, keeping people in this in that ecosystem. Now, fast forward 40 years later, everything's like that. Yay!
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well,
everything's
I do
a
remember
scam.
this. I do remember the encyclopedias they used to do.
Yeah.
They used to try to do like that, where they would try to give you a new set like every 2 years or whatever it is, whatever the program was. And yeah, I never participated in it, but I always wanted to as a kid because I loved books. But then now as an adult, I'm glad that nobody ever did.
I had to walk away from 3 to 5 of those contracts with Columbia House. I'm sure they're still on my credit report somewhere. You know, I just it was too good a deal to get 15 cassettes for a penny. So you had to make up a name, or you had to do this or that or whatever. That's when you could still do that. Just have it sent to a different address. Okay, so he says, I'm worried about my dad. I got to get over there. Plus, I'll be babysitting Bill. His wages are still being garnished by Columbia House. The timeshare is the last thing he needs. Peggy says, you be careful too, Hank. You're going down there with a liver, 2 kidneys, and no timeshare. I expect you to come back the same way. It's actually pretty good advice from Peggy.
That is pretty good advice. Very
Hank
good
says,
advice. That's actually a good quote.
Yeah,
just a shirt with a liver on it and 2 kidneys, and then like a ticket to a timeshare.
I do like that, but I think I like this next one better. Well, if an at-risk kid can't get me to order Sports Illustrated, no one's going to sell me a timeshare. I like this. If an at-risk kid. He leaves, and then Peggy, just screaming at nothing, says, "Oh God, why won't the sun go down?" Like, they're just, why don't they have blinds on that sliding door or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know. They should have blinds on that door.
All right. Next thing we see a sign that says the U.S. border is 100 yards. And we hear, "God, Burke, you drive slow, boy." He goes, "The Mexican speed limit is still a speed limit, Dad." So they're in the car driving to Mexico. Cotton says, "Hey, fatty, I got a game that'll help pass the time. Who do you think is uglier, Hank's mother or Hank's wife?" Man, what a prick this guy is. He proves it every time.
Well, he married her, so he chose one of those 2 people to be around.
Almighty. Yeah. All right, now we've got Bobby and Peggy. They're in lawn chairs, and they're just kind of sitting there waiting for the sprinkler to hit them. And she goes, "Here comes Bobby." And then Dale walks up in his Speedo, of course. "Hi, Peggy, you're sweating like a pig." She goes, "Dale, if you block my sprinkler turn, I will take you down." He goes, "That's for amateurs. I'm stalking the big gallonage." and they all look over the fence, and there's a pool. So this is the pool that is in front or in the back of the house that Luann was staying with all of her roommates, right?
Yep.
The house is for sale, and the pool is beautiful and blue and clear. Um, Next thing we have is they pull up to a fence I'm sorry. They pull up to a large fancy hotel in Mexico. I mean, this thing is swanky as hell. You know, it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
real
It's got
nice.
fountains. It's got all kinds of stuff out front. They pull up, and Hank says, "Wow, that's pretty nice." Guy comes out, says, "Welcome, welcome," or as we say in El Grande Vista, "Bienvenido." He goes, "Look, Rich, I just want to be honest, so no hard feelings. We're not interested in buying, especially Bill." He goes, "Oh, I appreciate that, but it's my job to make sure everyone hears our dumb little spiel. After that, we can start your free world-class vacation." That's how they get you right there. Like, they identify with you and say,
Yeah.
"Oh, I know, it's just a formality. No big deal." All right, so we're back in Arlen. They are in the pool now. Peggy's in a swim cap, and Bobby says, "Oh, do they make swim diapers in my size? Because I don't even want to get out." That is gross, Bobby. It's super gross to talk about swim diapers, and you're 12 years old.
Did you? I think I missed you say it. Did you say C. Everett Koop's name yet?
I have not said C. Everett Koop's name yet. Where's he
I
at?
thought it says I'm stalking the big gallonage, and then it's Cotton. He says Hank's wife or C. Everett Koop.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I did miss that one. Yeah, because when they pull up,
Okay.
they're still talking about it. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, I was just gonna touch on who C. Everett Koop was.
yeah.
So
Please
C.
do.
Everett Koop was the 13th Surgeon General of the United States. He was a Surgeon General under Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush, to no surprise. George H.W. Bush was friends with the Hinckley family, whose son would go on then to shoot Ronald Reagan in what would be called a assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan's life, so George H.W. Bush could assume the presidency earlier, because George H.W. Bush knew in his heart of hearts that he could never win more than one term. So that would be the way he would get a longer presidency than the one term, because he rode Reagan's coattails, and then after that he got spanked by Bill Clinton.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. C. Everett Koop was he was
Surgeon
when
General, yeah.
he was the guy that just had the one he had the like the no mustache beard, right? He
Yeah, he was yeah, he had the beard that went there with no mustache, kind
had the
of
Abraham Lincoln.
like the Abraham Lincoln, but he was
Yeah.
really big on tobacco.
Mhm.
They did a lot to end the tobacco industry during that point in the 80s, when
Yep.
they ended the tobacco industry, or started to kill it
Yeah.
off. They actually the tobacco industry changed a lot of the company names and went and bought all the food companies up. So at
Yeah.
this point is when food switched to
Yeah.
cigarette companies owning them, and it's where you started to get a lot of additives in our food to make us addicted to food. But he also worked on the rights of children with disabilities, because he's the reason why kids were able to get diagnosed with autism and stuff. He's like one of the first dudes that rallied for kids that had those type of at that time they were considered learning disabilities. Nowadays I don't think they consider all, like, it's a spectrum now, so it's not considered a learning disability. It's considered a I don't know the right word, like a comorbidity, I guess, is maybe that's a terrible word. That's not the right word. Whatever. It's like autism isn't necessarily just because you have autism, you have dyslexia. You know what I mean? It's not all encompassing like they probably used to do back then. But he was also a big proponent for AIDS. He was one of the guys that pushed like a really
Yeah, it's
big
true.
because he's pretty much the only Surgeon General probably to ever become like a household name, and it was because of his public presence around the
He was
HIV
on TV a
crisis in the
lot,
80s.
honestly. A lot more than any other that I've seen. He was on
Yeah, I haven't
TV quite a
really.
bit.
The only two that I remember the names of is him and Gupta. Those are the only two that I remember the names
It's true.
of.
It's true. All right, so they pulled up a big fancy hotel. They're going to start their free world class vacation. Peggy's in the pool, and as they're in the
Oh,
pool,
I was wrong. So Sanjay Gupta never was. He was offered. Okay, I
oh,
knew there
okay.
was something with it. He was offered, but no, he never became.
So they're all in the pool. Dale says, "Look, Peggy, I can do a one-handed handstand. See?" And he cannot. We hear a car drive up, and a realtor gets out with customers for this house, and she's taking them inside. And she goes, "Oh, this house is in truly move-in condition." And we see a float on the pool. They're all hiding underneath that float so that they can't see them. And they start whispering to each other. And Peggy says, "They're going to take our pool away." Bobby says, "I can't go back to the lawn." She goes, "You find us another pool." All right, so now we're back at Mexico, back at the big mansion, back at the big hotel, whatever you want to call it. Rich, the salesman, says, "This is O'Kelly, our founder," and he's showing like this big painting of this
Yeah.
guy. He is blonde-haired, blue-eyed dude on a mountain with a gun, obviously shooting at wild game or whatever. It's one of those stereotypical billionaire paintings or something. He goes, "This is O'Kelly, our founder." And Dale's like, "Wow." Uh, Bill says, "Wow." And he goes, "O'Kelly has incredible gifts. We're lucky he used them to build the world's finest timeshares." Uh,
Cult-like. This is cult-like.
it is cult like.
You don't describe a founder of a company like that.
No. Bill says, "It's strange. I fear him, but I am not afraid." I mean, it's so weird. Uh, and then the guy says, "All right, I got 3 up. Wendy?" And because he went into the sales office and grabbed some salespeople, right? And then the other guy says, "I know, I've got the bald fat guy who's going to look down my shirt." That's Wendy talking. Then another one, Mitch says, or the other guy says, "Mitch, you take Grandpa." And then there's Mr. Consumer Reports. And then there's another guy over there who's real put together. He's got a newspaper, his feet are up on the table as he's listening to him. He goes, "Leave it to me." And then he messes up his hair, pulls his tie down, gets like real disheveled looking. And he goes, "I just hope I'm good enough." Like he's put on this character of this slovenly, guy who's down in the dumps, who's going to sell to Mr. Consumer Reports, who of course is Hank.
Yeah.
So anyway, it goes back over there, and you hear Cotton say, "Nah, yeah, it smells like strawberries, peas, ginger beer. I don't care." Because the girl came over to him, or one of the salespeople came over to Bill, and she goes, "You seem like the kind of man who'd really enjoy O'Kelly's company. He's an adventurer, an explorer, blah, 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 blah." And of course, Bill's looking down her shirt. Um, uh, Cotton, not really swayed by anything. They're telling him all about O'Kelly, and he says, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Smells like strawberries, peas, ginger, and beer. Don't care." And then the disheveled guy, we see him talking to Hank. He goes, "I know how you feel, Mr. Hill, afraid to take a chance. If you're like me, your wife would tan your hide if you thought for yourself." Hank says, "Yep, that's why I'm not buying. I'm a big fraidy cat, barely even a man. My wife chases me around with a rolling pin. It's got nothing to do with timeshares being one of the worst investments there is." Hank being sarcastic is something you do not see very often.
No, yeah.
The
Not very often at all.
the female salesperson says, "Bill, an attractive man like yourself," and he goes, "I'll buy." Like that's all it took. An attractive man like yourself, I'll buy. She goes, "Congratulations. I think you'll find, oh, it seems like this card's been declined." He goes, "Oh, I got other cards. Do you take Blockbuster? Oh, wait, I forgot about this baby. It has no credit limit." He's got a no credit limit card. How does Bill get a no credit limit credit card?
Well, he is. We've seen his people in New Orleans now. They don't look like
Mm,
they're just any old average folk.
that's true. And maybe it's a
And
military
maybe,
base, like a USAA type thing or something.
well, this is what I think about Bill. This is my like theory on Bill is that Bill comes from an extremely wealthy family, and Bill has been wealthy his whole childhood and everything. And he went to the military to try to get away to become his own self. And I feel like that card might really just be an unlimited card that he has from his wealthy family. And Bill doesn't care about the wealth. He cares more about the connection with his friends in the neighborhood because he can have anything that he wants if he moves back to Louisiana and lives in the family estate and does all this stuff. I think. I
Like
think
a
that's why Bill
like a
is so depressing.
black American Express card type
Yeah.
situation.
I feel like he is so desperately wants connection that his wealth doesn't mean anything to him.
I don't think you really hear Bill talk about money ever.
Nah. And Bill's in the army at like mid 40s. So, and he's still just a barber. So he's probably not making, I mean, he's probably making okay money, but he's not making like
Yeah.
as much as he could doing something else. I'm sure. I'm sure he could probably make more money not being in the military after being in the military that long.
By the way, want to say hi to Ghetto Cowboy, blah blah blah. Propane Man
Yeah.
9,
What's up, everybody?
all in the chat. I appreciate you guys being here.
Gil from The Simpsons. Actually, Gil from The Simpsons is one of my favorite characters. His name is Gil Gunderson. He's that one who's just old Gil. Yeah, that guy.
If a piano's gonna fall on anybody, it's gonna be old Gil. It's a great character. Okay, so let's see, where are we? The girl's telling Bill he's attractive. Bill says he'll buy. Now we go back to Hank. He goes, I hear you, Hank, but let me ask you this. How much do you spend on an average vacation? Hank, while he's listening to this guy, sees Bill pull out that unlimited card, and he goes, Bill, no! He runs over there and grabs the credit card out of the girl's hand. He goes, I'm holding on to this, and I'm not letting you out of my sight. No one is buying a timeshare. And then you hear, over his shoulder, you hear champagne pop, and goes, congratulations on your new timeshare, Colonel. So his dad has signed up for a timeshare.
He signed it. It's over with.
He did. And that's going to take us to our first commercial break. And we will be
first. Right back.
Right back.
Join the Daily High Club, the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and accessories. Since 2015, we've sold over 1 million quality products and teamed up with legends like Snoop Dogg and Tommy Chong. Ready to elevate your smoking game? Visit dailyhighclub.com for our El Primo subscription box or shop unique pieces today.
Discover the world of luxury sex toys at Luxury Toy X and indulge in the ultimate pleasure experience. For years, we have been dedicated to the belief that sexuality and wellness are essential components of a happy and healthy life. With over 70,000 satisfied customers, we take pride in our ability to provide products that enhance your sexual well-being. Join our community of satisfied customers and unlock a world of pleasure and self-discovery. Visit luxurytoyx.com today.
Apollo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress, that helps you calm down and feel better. You sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
I'm Hunter, the founder of Hello Cake, and today we're digging into ED meds. The number one thing we hear is that guys are sick of waiting for ED meds to kick in. Traditional ED meds take about an hour to kick in as they have to go through your digestive system, where Hello Cake's ED medication dissolves under your tongue and works in about 15 minutes. That's about 3 times faster than traditional ED medication. Curious about ED meds? Go to hellocake.com.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
Baby girl, were you staring at me? You know that's not convincing, right? Try again. Well, you shouldn't just be staring then. You should taste.
I miss your presence, your laughter.
All right, so we are celebrating the signing of Cotton for his timeshare. They're all over there egging him on. He goes, oh, Kelly, sounds like he's got the smarts of Topsy, the gumption of Brooklyn, and the moxie of Fat Brooklyn. He's like all my old dead friends rolled into one big live friend. And then, of course, the guys are back there. Yeah, good, Brooklyn, absolutely. Blah, blah, blah. These are all the salespeople just egging him on.
Yeah.
Hank says, look, I don't know anything about this old Kelly guy, but you were in sales pressure-induced days, and they made you sign something you didn't understand. We'll get you out of this. He goes, I don't want out. Damn it, boy. Quit acting like a door jam and get on board. Then the salesperson, which is Rich, says, maybe you should think about it, Colonel Hill. Our policy here is if you decide you don't want to live life to the fullest. I love how they always take a positive thing and turn it on you, you know,
and try to twist it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, I really think that Cotton Hill is, does he not understand that he has to continually pay for this?
I don't know how he's going to pay for it, honestly, because he has no money.
I don't think he understands that it's a recurring payment.
Mm-hmm.
You don't pay one lump sum. He's got $9,000, not $40,000.
Yeah.
the timeshare probably pretty pricey over the span of time. Maybe not
Yeah.
in the when is the setting in this 2000s? Maybe not in the early 2000s. Maybe it wasn't that much, but
It's still expensive no
I
matter what
imagine
it is.
nowadays it would be ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. He goes, maybe you should think about it, Colonel Hill. Our policy here is if you decide you don't want to live your life to the fullest, you've got 12 hours to back out. In the meantime, why don't you enjoy a bite at one of our world-class restaurants? Here are some owner's coupons for 10% off. Wow, 10% off. What a deal.
10% off, probably $140 plate.
Right. That's right. Of spaghetti or something. He goes, you see that, boy? What you get when you what do you get with your precious AAA card? They don't even take those here. And then he walks off with the guy and Bill. Now we're back at Arlen. Everybody is climbing over a fence to get into another pool. You hear Dale, isn't that beautiful? And then they're looking at this beautiful pool. All of a sudden, two big Dobermans come up, start barking and chasing at them. They go and they jump into the pool. And so you got Dale and Bobby and Peggy. They jump into the pool and they're kind of peeking up out of the water. He goes, last time I was here, they were puppies. Now, which one of you is Scamp? And that's he's like trying to get along with these grown Dobermans. All right, so we go back to Mexico. They're walking through Cotton's room, and he goes, "That hair dryer, mine. Copy of Properties Monthly, mine. Oh, looky here, they got the water that don't give you the hot poops, swanky. The hot poops.
It was just like fancy hotel rooms. Is all
It's
this
just
all the
it's
time
just
share
regular
was.
hotel room stuff at this point. Like you go stay in a Motel
Yeah.
6, you get a magazine and a bottle of water. I mean, that's
Oh,
Uh,
easy.
Hank
You might
says,
have to
"Look,
steal the bottle of water out of the lobby, but there's a bottle
right."
of water somewhere.
He goes, "Look, I admit it's a great room, but I saw an ad that anyone can rent the same O'Kelly suite for $35 a night. You're paying 3 times that." He goes, "Get me, Hank. Do you know what's out there? O'Kelly's private yacht." So they're looking out the window now. "Manned 24 hours a day by the creme de la creme of the Mexican Navy. Got a private chef. Used to work for Cotton Floss." That's where I want to talk about Cotton Floss.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
goes, "I don't see anything." He goes, "Well, that's because you're looking with renter's eyes." And then Bill looks off. He goes, "I think I see it." He goes, "You got to get in good with O'Kelly. You get on that yacht. That's the kind of lifestyle you buy into here at El Grande Vista." Hank says, "But you're not really buying it. It says they in their own land brochure, Americans cannot own land in Mexico." He goes, "If I don't own anything, then why am I paying all these maintenance fees and property taxes?" Bill's like, "Good point." "Oh, it's not a good point, Bill."
Not at all.
Uh, Hank
You wanted to
says,
talk about the cotton floss guy, didn't you?
"Yeah." Hank says, "You've still got 10 hours to get out, Dad." He goes, "I ain't getting out of anything. I like it here. Fatty, let's go to the owner's pool." So Cotton Floss,
Yeah.
let's
I
talk about that.
actually have
Yeah,
one thing that I know
go
about
for it.
him, and it's only because I was watching a Charlie Chaplin thing, and Charlie Chaplin quoted him or talked about him or something. But Charlie Chaplin was a huge fan of his, and Charlie Chaplin actually referred to him as the greatest comedian alive.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to say. Mario Fortino Alonso Moreno Reyes, known by the stage name of Cotton Floss, was a Mexican comedian, actor, and filmmaker. He's considered to have been the most widely accomplished Mexican comedian and is well known throughout Latin America and Spain. So, if you Jerry Lewis also would refer to him a lot. He was a physical comedian, but he did a lot of drama also. So when you
Yeah, well, they said that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. They
you're
say that
fine.
he's more like a fusion of like Chaplin with all the facial
Yeah,
cues and all
yeah.
like the environmental stuff and stuff like that, but then also like Abbott and Costello with the out of left field dialogue stuff and
Mhm.
and some of the Abbott and Costello like hijinks.
A lot of
I don't know. I've never
slapstick
seen his
stuff
stuff before,
also,
so I might
you
have to
know.
check him out. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very funny. It's hard to find anything in English. He was on a few back in the 50s, they would do these game shows like What's My Line and that kind of stuff. And he was on a few of those where he spoke English. But the majority of the stuff is in Spanish. So I will warn you that most of it is dubbed very badly. Computer voices at this point. But anyway, very, very big influence on a lot of comedians
Well, that's cool.
and
Yeah, I'm gonna have
a lot of
to check him
actors.
out.
Yeah, very, very big influence on a lot of people. So I just wanted to make sure we
Well,
covered that before we moved
I've
on.
been attempting to listen to foreign films with AI auto translator, and where it translates automatically
Yeah, is it
the
good?
audio from the movie. I'll leave
6
the
up?
subtitles on. It's not horrible. If you're watching
Yeah.
a popular language, it translates pretty well. But if it's just there's like certain bits, obviously, that unless I know the language, sometimes it doesn't even make sense for the translation because they direct translate it. Some of it
Yeah.
doesn't translate the nuance of language, so it just translates it word by word kind of thing almost. So
My
it's not
issue on
great.
my issue on some of that stuff is like they'll put the translation at the bottom, right? They'll put the subtitles at the bottom, and
Yeah.
they don't match up with the words that are dubbed.
No, they
So
don't. No, they
it'll
don't.
say something like, "I bought a new shirt." That's what you'll hear, but in the things it'll say, "Look at this shirt I just bought," or whatever, and you're like,
Yeah,
"Wait,"
yeah.
it's hard for me to reconcile those two things at the same time with the same information, It just makes it harder to watch for some reason. Okay, so they're still in Mexico. Now they're going to go out by the pool. Now we've got Cotton at the pool. Bill is in the pool. He swims up to the bar. He's got a snorkel thing on, and he goes, "Ooh, just pour it right in the snorkel. Pour it in. Pour it in." And then you hear Colonel. And this is Rich, the timeshare guy. He says, you're a world traveler, so I'm sure you appreciate the international details O'Kelly insists on. Italian granite marble, Mexican cacti. We're proud of saying it's the casa with clasa. And saying clasa, which is a really terrible thing to say.
Actually, the name of the whole place, period, El Grande Vista, is actually not correct grammatically. It would be La Gran Vista. It wouldn't be Grande. It would be Gran. Lagran Vista is how you would say it.
I'm not sure that anybody that actually speaks fluent Spanish named this place or built it. I think that it is.
I'm gonna guess not. I'm gonna guess El Presidente O'Kelly is sounds like he might be Irish. It might be a lad. We'll have a lad on our notes here.
I think you're looking at a like a New York situation where you've got the actual place, and then you've got a casino that's also called New York, which is just like a small version of it, which is pretty terrible. Okay. So, Rich, the timeshare guys, you're a world traveler, so I'm sure you'd appreciate the international details. Cotton says, "Yeah, becoming an owner was the best thing I ever did with the money I inherited. I should have brought up Top's ashes down here and spread them over a senorita."
Sorry, it makes me laugh how he talks about the 9,000.
Well, it makes me laugh that he says it's an inheritance.
I fell into some money, I did. Yeah.
Well, I just think it's funny that he thinks 10 grand is an inheritance when he left it for his funeral, is basically what he left it for.
Have you ever heard of this movie? Oh man, I can't remember what the exact name of it is, but the premise of the movie is it's old black and white movie. So what happens is it's like this really, really rich man on a boat, and he's on this boat, and he thinks that everybody on the boat with him is his friend, and he's just cheerful. And he overhears a conversation with somebody in the background talking about, "Oh, I'm glad is this, kind of talking about his money and just money. Well, the guy jumps off the boat and swims to shore, and he sees a homeless person on the shore, and he gives all of his clothes to the homeless guy. And then this really rich man trades clothes with him, and he goes into town, and he starts acting like he's poor, obviously, and he starts telling him, he goes, "I'll give you $1 million if you just talk to me or just chat with me," or whatever it is. So it's, man, I wish I could think of the name of the movie, but I don't know where I was going with that, but it's a good movie. I want to say it's like the Millionaire Man or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, if you figure it out, let me know, because I would definitely watch that. That sounds pretty.
But it's a good movie. Yeah, it's a good movie. So it's pretty much this guy, Man with a Million, I think is what it might be called.
Okay.
No, that's not it. That's
so
there's a Gregory Peck movie. Never mind. I'll figure it out and I'll let you know.
Yeah, figure it out. So Rich is right there with Bill and Cotton, and here's where Bill is not an idiot all the time. He says, "Rich, you're all right. So, but you know what? I don't get Hank was saying, if you buy a timeshare in Mexico, you can't even own it because you're a foreigner. How can you buy something you
Yeah.
can't own? And
That's what I'm
Cotton
saying. I
goes,
don't know how that
well,
works.
Cotton says, well, that's true. My son is a jackass and a killjoy, but that is a puzzler. He goes, Bill, why don't you get us some chips and salsa? So Bill swims off to do that. And Cotton says, so level with me, Rich. Is it true? Because I only got 6 hours to make up my mind. He goes, Colonel, I wasn't supposed to tell you this because you're not an owner yet, but you've already been handpicked by O'Kelly to join his El Presidente circle. It's an elite group of owners, very exclusive. You have a condo on El Presidente Island, use of O'Kelly's helicopter, all of our privileges. You'll receive your own El Presidente Medal of Achievement. It all happens aboard O'Kelly's yacht tomorrow night, assuming you decide to stay. So no high pressure here, not at all. You look at the old man who's lonely and you tell him how he's going to be part of this exclusive club and get a bunch of medals and get to hang out on a boat with all his friends, which he doesn't have. He goes, oh, handpicked, huh? I could chew that over. He goes, your friend. I don't know how to put this. So Kelly's yacht may be big, but there's not always room in it for everyone. So Bill's out. Bill is out just like that. He goes, Fatty? He goes, sorry, sir. He goes, you're out. I mean, I'm done with you. And so Bill kind of looks around. There's already security guards dragging him out of the pool. They said, sir, please swim to the shallow end. And I mean, he's done. He's gone.
He's out of there.
Yeah. So now Hank and Hank them are trying to get in this locked gate, right? He's trying to get into the locked gate. And he's like, Dad. And then the security's like, sir, please stop. And then he comes up to Bill. Bill's kind of crying and he's depressed again because one more person has told him they don't need him. And he goes, Bill? He goes, your dad doesn't need me anymore. He dumped me for O'Kelly. By the way, Bill is sitting on a lawn chair on the beach as a mariachi band plays behind him. And he's just crying by himself. It's one of the saddest things you'll ever see.
Super sad. Yeah, no, that's depressing as hell. That's like it has some darker pieces in this.
Oh, so good.
The last couple episodes been a little dark.
They have been a little dark, yeah. He goes, Bill, I've only got a couple hours to get my dad out of this deal, and I can't do it alone. I need you. And Bill's
I found the name of the movie. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, what is it? No, go.
In mid sentence. So the movie is it's called "I'll Give a Million." It's directed by Walter Lang, and it actually stars Peter Lorre is actually in this movie.
So Peter Lorre is
Warner Baxter and Marjorie Weaver.
Lang, is he the one that did Some Like It Hot?
Walter Lang, I believe, did. Would you say Some Like It Hot?
Yeah,
I'm pretty no, I don't know that he did that one. He did The King and I from the 50s.
Okay.
Yeah, he did. The stuff that I knew about his is more older, like for his career, like later in his career. So he did. Obviously, he did Rodgers and Hammerstein's The King and I. He got Academy Award nominated for that.
Yul Brynner.
And Yul Brynner got the Best Actor for that. So it was up for 2 awards. That one was. But what was the name of the movie you said again? I was
saying Some Like It Hot.
No, I don't see that he did that one. I think the last few movies that he really did, like 50s, 60s, was he did Cheaper by the Dozen and 50.
Cheaper by the Dozen. Okay.
That's the one I remember. He did Snow White and the Three Stooges. Have you seen that one?
Did he?
Yeah, he did that. That shit's funny. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Funny.
That's just really funny.
Yeah.
And then The Marriage Go Round. I don't know that one. I guess that's Susan Hayward, James Mason.
These are all the old movies that I used to watch when I was a little kid on my little black and white TV on the metal TV tray.
These are all movies I used to watch too.
This is what would come on.
TV.
Yeah, it would come over after the late news. One of these movies, they just throw some crap on, and you'd watch it until the Pledge of Allegiance came on, and everything went to static. And
we never got the static in the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm actually old enough to have TV on most of the night. It just went to infomercials at a certain time of night for me. But there was certain times of night and certain nights where they would play old movies and they'd play
Oh yeah.
random movies and stuff like that. That's where I got the
Well,
1 in a million one from. That's why I couldn't remember the name, is because I remember watching it as a little kid. So what it is pretty much is like this wealthy businessman who's just like fed up with life. He's
right.
tired of everybody seeing him for his money and his influence. So while he's on his yacht, he spots this tramp drowning, and unable to get the crew's attention to help him, he just dives in. Well, the yacht just like sails away. So the guy drags the his name is Louis, is the tramp. So he drags Louis, and he was actually trying to do himself in, and so he saved him from that. And when he took him to the beach, he gave him like a wad of money in his tuxedo, and he took the tramp's clothes, and then he goes to town. And so Louis goes into a cafe, and they think he stole the money because the proprietor, like, you were just a homeless dude like a week ago. He's like, what's going on here? So he goes in to like buy breakfast, and he's flashing the money that the eccentric millionaire gave him. And so nobody believes that he gave him this money. And there's like a chimpanzee involved in here. There's like a mischievous chimpanzee named Darwin or something like that.
Of course, it's named Darwin.
The rich guy is involved with like Darwin. So like there's this performer of a circus who does all this stuff with I don't know. It's a good movie. You just go watch. You just check it out. I liked it. For a movie from the 30s, it was pretty good movie, I think.
So
but it's a love story. It ends up being a love story between the millionaire who is now appears as a tramp. So that's how he knows that the woman actually loves him, because she met him as a tramp before she knew he was a millionaire, kind of thing. So it's one of those kind of stories.
Since you brought up an obscure movie, I'm going to bring up one also. This is one that I looked around for a long time. I saw it once when I was a kid, and then I looked around for it for a long time and never could find it anywhere. But it's called Zotz. And
how do you spell that?
Right there, Zotz.
Zotz.
Yeah. And it is Tom Poston. If anybody knows who Tom Poston is, he was an actor in the 50s and 60s, 70s. But it's about a magic coin that he gets that you can see there. And the coin grants wishes and things like that. I just remember by the way, the guy right there, if you see, there's 3 guys in that picture. The second one, the one that looks disgusted, that's Thurston Howell III from Gilligan's Island. That's the guy who played
Zotz. You said
Zotz, yeah.
And you said you've never been able to find a link for it?
No, I finally found out what it was. I'm just saying I looked for years and years. There's like 3 movies in my life that have been like this for me. Zotz. Then there is what's it called? I've got a copy of it here somewhere. There's a TV movie.
You could share this link with our chat. I can't share it in the comments unless I log in, and if I log in, it'll kick me out of here. So
that's actual.
Yeah, I said it's a private chat. You could drop it in the comments for him. I could, but I'd have to pull up a bunch of other stuff I'd have to pull up YouTube and all that. I have YouTube on my laptop over here. I just don't have it on my.
I got it. Yeah, there it is.
And so that's a link to the movie. If you want to watch Zotz, that's the link to a movie. And
do you have a link to the other one?
Yeah, I could get one really fast. Man, what did I say that movie was called?
So there was that one. There was Trilogy of Terror, which was one I saw when I was a little kid. It was a TV movie, and it's like an anthology movie. There's 3 different stories in it, but the last one is Karen Black, I believe was her name, who was in it. She brings back this little totem from Africa, and it's like a little witch doctor totem. And the thing comes to life and starts stabbing at her feet and burns her apartment down and all kinds of stuff. I love that one. And then there was a 3rd one, and I have no idea what the name of this thing is, but I used to live on a street called Meadowbrook Drive. At the end of Meadowbrook Drive, you could take your bike down there, ride all the way down, and you could look over the fields and you could see what was playing on the drive-in, right? Because you could see the screen there. Now, you wouldn't get any sound, you just see what was playing. And I remember there was a movie playing there where it was a POV type thing where this thing was going through the house and it pulled knives out of the cupboard, and it was going to go stab some people in the house, but you couldn't see the thing and all this stuff. But I do not have any idea what that movie is. So if anybody has any ideas on that, I'd love to hear them.
can you like give me a description of it? I can find anything on the internet. I'm really good at finding. I can find pretty much anything there is.
Let's say you're the ghost, right? And you're
Okay.
looking through the house and you're going through the kitchen, and they open one of the kitchen drawers and there's like a big butcher knife, and so they pick that up, and now they're going to go through the house and get people, and that's really all I remember about it, Rusty. So yeah, if you can sleuth that out, that'd be great.
Yeah, that one might be tough, but yeah.
By the way, on Friday, on the Friday episode, we're going to talk about something I would love to do. I sent you something about it yesterday. We're going to talk about an event that we're putting on, and I might want to get your help doing that thing there. So if you're listening to us or watching us now, check in Friday and we'll talk about the event. Okay. After having said all that, and after gone over Zots, which I didn't think.
Well, there's the second link to the I'll Give $1 Million as well. The 1938 film noir comedy.
Film noir comedy.
Oh, well, that's what it says. Film noir comedy, classic film noir comedy. Yeah.
All right, guys. Both links.
That one might be harder to find. That other movie you're just describing.
Oh yeah, it's going to be hard.
I would have to get that description like typed out.
It's going to be very hard.
I bet I can find maybe 3 movies that might not be it.
But I can too. Okay, so
the
we're
Ghosts
back.
of Hanley House.
I don't know. I'd have to see some footage before I'd know.
Oh, I got you. You'd have to see some footage. Okay, that's a movie from 1968.
Plus,
How old is the movie though? Is it a black and white?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I had to be probably 8 to 12, somewhere in there. So you're looking at 77, 78, 79, 80, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Bill is all in now. He's helping. They're at the let's see. There's bushes on the side of the gate, and they're trying to get in. And Bill is like in the bushes trying to sneak his way in. And Hank says, "Hurry up, Bill. They're measuring my dad for a sombrero." And he goes, "Oh, I'm almost through. Boom. Ow, that's the fence." So he just went in through the bushes and hits the fence. He goes, "Dang it, we'll never get him in time. He's going to lose every penny." And
yeah.
Bill says, "Well, maybe we should give up and just let him enjoy himself. I mean, a month ago, he didn't even have that money." He goes, "No, this is important. I can't let him get ripped off." And so now we flash over and we see Cotton standing there in his giant sombrero. Rich is saying, "Beautiful, Colonel. Very authentic." Well, it's not, but okay. Go back to Hank. Hank says, "I came down here to protect my dad. And damn it, that's what I'm going to do. We got to get to Rich." And Bill kind of looks around and he goes, "Just look after those guys in the feathers." He's pointing at like these big guys. They look like Samoans, like Hawaiian.
Yeah, easy. Some big Hawaiian dudes.
They got the big feathers on, and they're huge guys. He goes, "Just look out for them." He said I missed it. He said, "Look out for them. They're the guys that beat me up pretty good after they kicked me out of the pool." He goes, "Leave this to me. I'll distract them." So all of a sudden, Bill can jump. He jumps over the fence, and he unlocks the gate for Hank. And then he makes a big ruckus. He shouts out to him, "I'm going to go eat some of O'Kelly's penguins." Nobody cares when he says that. Now, however, he says, "Americans cannot own land in Mexico. Americans cannot own land in Mexico." And then they're like, "Get him." Like that. That's the one. They don't care if you're going to go eat his penguins. So they start chasing him down. Hank kind of sneaks in, and he goes over to Rich, and he goes, "Okay, you little weasel, I'm not letting you steal any more of my dad's money." He goes, "Steal? Hank, your dad's an adult. He has a right to spend his own money, and this is how he wants to spend it." And I should tell you,
there's actually weird laws about owning property in Mexico.
Yeah.
For Americans. So in the interior, you're generally pretty easy, just a standard deed and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But if you live in what they call the restricted zone, which is land within 31 miles of the coastline or 62 miles of an international border, actually requires a bank trust called a fideicomiso or something like that. But what it is a Mexican bank holds the legal title to your home, but you are listed as the primary beneficiary of the trust. So it
Yeah.
grants you all the same rights. You could own it, you can rent it, you could sell it, you could pass the property to your heirs. The trust lasts for only 50 years, but it's renewable indefinitely. I don't know why it works that way, but that is one of the Mexican property rules if you want to buy land in Mexico.
That's really odd. I mean, I do understand why so many people go to Mexico because it's so cheap, but it can be very dangerous in some areas. The
Absolutely.
cartels have a chokehold on that entire country.
My
But
supervisor actually has an apartment in Mexico, and he goes to
really,
Mexico like 20, 30 times a year. He goes down there
yeah.
quite a bit. Yeah.
Well,
Anytime we have like 4 or 5 days off work, he goes down there.
huh. Okay. Well, good for him. So he
Yeah.
sneaks in
I don't
anyway.
know. I don't know why, but yeah, he goes down there. He loves it, I guess.
Rich says, Hank, your dad's an adult. He has a right to spend his own money, and this is how he wants to spend it. And I should tell you, with your father being a member of El Presidente, I think O'Kelly would look very favorably on your application. So not only is he trying to explain this to him, but now he's trying to sell Hank on it too. I mean, this guy never stops selling.
Never. I mean, you can if you're selling something.
No,
That's one of the
that's true.
rules to selling is never
That's true.
stop selling.
Hank
You know
says,
what they say, Reed Timmer, the meteorologist, about storm chasing? Never
Okay.
stop chasing.
never stop chasing.
I
He
guess
goes,
anything like never stop podcasting about King of the Hill.
but he doesn't even have anything. He lives in an apartment and only gets $300 a month pension. He can't even afford real Cheerios. He eats something called Oat Loops. It's made right around here. The guy goes, what?
Oat Loops.
He goes, but then how are we going to get his, how is it when we raise his monthly ownership dues and he's not a homeowner? How are we going to foreclose on him? Fine. If you want your dad out of this, he's out. And just tears up the contract right then and there because he knows there's no future in it. This guy's got no money. And so he tears up the contract. Hank gives Bill the thumbs up. The guys that were chasing him have caught him and now just throw him off the balcony. Not sure how many stories we are up, but at least one or two.
One or two at least. Yeah, definitely.
We go back to Cotton's room, and Cotton's getting ready for his big El Presidente meeting. He goes, Dad, you still there? I got something to talk to you about. He goes, and which cufflinks do you think Kelly would like more? The ones that look like boobies or the ones that look like guns? He goes, why are you all dressed up?
Yeah.
He goes, you only become El Presidente once, boy. I want to look sharp. Tomorrow night, I'll board O'Kelly's yacht, and a great man himself hands me my El Presidente Medal of Achievement. He goes, that's why I came by. Because I got to admit it, Hank, since all my buddies kicked off, things just hadn't felt right. But now it's got me someplace I belong. He goes, yeah, we need to talk about that. Oh, nothing to talk about. I was born, I lived, then I got to be El Presidente. That made it all worthwhile. Doesn't mention anything about Hank being born. Doesn't mention anything about his life previously.
None of it. Yeah, literally none of it.
I was born, I lived, and then I got to be El Presidente. And that takes us to our second commercial break.
Our second commercial break.
That means we will be
right back.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Tervis is all about staying hydrated. Each product is built to last and comes in endless designs to match your personality. Stay refreshed and express yourself with Tervis. Visit tervis.com today and find your perfect tumbler.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Since 2003, we've been connecting buyers and sellers, providing access to sold-out events at prices lower than most secondary market options. Whether it's sports, theater, or concerts, our massive nationwide network ensures you get the tickets you want, guaranteed. For the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. That's TICKETLIQUIDATOR.com. Ticket Liquidator.
All righty, and we are
back.
back. Let's see. This movie is telling you about texting it. Okay. Is that one you sent?
That's what I sent to you just now. Yeah.
Okay.
I sent that to you while we were on break.
Yeah.
Well, that was, I remember last episode. So I guess I'll just talk about it since everybody's here right now. So on the last episode, I discussed this random thing that came across my feed. I want to say it was Reddit, like the Redditor's post was the guy who created it, maybe. And so it's called, what is it called? Very, VERI is the name of it. And it's like built for movie lovers by movie lovers kind of things. So it's an AI that helps you with movies. So if you don't know the name of your movie, Mike, if you knew more information than that, it's probably not enough information. It's not going to be enough information, I don't think, for the AI to find. You could plug in stuff like that too, but it's an AI around movies, period. So what its whole goal is to give you movie recs outside of what you generally would look. So I gave it my favorite movies, which is Sling Blade, Tombstone, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That's like a group of my favorite movies. And I told him what my favorite movies were, Sling Blade being one of them. And it gave me the first recommendation it gave me out of the gate. I was skeptical of if the AI would be able to give me a decent movie that I would enjoy, because I've seen so many movies. And I was explaining to the AI that I don't necessarily watch movies. I don't really find any movie bad. I think you gain, like, there's an experience that you get from every movie, bad or good. Like, there's some horribly shit trash movies that have some amazing scenes that I really like in them, kind of thing. So I explained that to the AI, and I told it I didn't want a movie rec. I just wanted to talk about movies with it at first so it could learn more about me, because it started to try to give me like these movies just right away kind of thing. And I was like, nah, you don't know anything about me yet. So it started to give it talked to me for a little bit, kind of went over. We discussed what we thought about Carl and how he's so narrow intellectually. It actually gives him like this genius quality when it comes to like his moral code. Like I was going deep with this AI. That was me, because I really want to do a whole like hour and a half discussion about the movie Sling Blade.
I love the movie Sling Blade. Yeah, I love it
too. I love it so much. And
it's just a great script also.
Yeah. So I kind of just like splurged all my things of it, and it spit out a movie called Winter's Bone.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember Winter's Bone. Yeah.
That was so good. Never even heard of that movie. So when it gave me that recommendation,
it's the one with the boat on the frozen lake kind of thing, right?
No, it's the one with it's got Jennifer Lawrence, where she plays this girl who's a young teenage girl, and it's got she's got her younger brother and a younger sister. And the movie starts out like she's cooking them breakfast, and then there's like a knock on the door by the sheriff, and the sheriff is like, "Well, you know, your daddy put up this house and the property for his bond, and court's Friday, and he still ain't been seen or heard from since then." So it's her trying to find out her methed out daddy. So it ends up being that her methed out daddy got killed by some people he had money dealings with, and those people take that girl to where he's at, and he's dumped in the river. So they take her out on a boat to the river, and they have to cut his hands off so she could take his hands to show the sheriff that he's dead, so she could keep her property. Wow. Super crazy like premise. But it was in that same vein of Sling Blade, where that scene when he just whacks Dwight Yoakam in the head, it's a quiet scene. There's no background music. It's just him and Carl in the room. Well, that scene where they're cutting her dad's hands off, it's just real quiet, and the only sounds you're hearing is literally the bone sawing, and it's just like the eeriness of those two like stillnesses in those movies, and how those movies don't. Winter's Bone is kind of similar to Sling Blade, where there's not a whole lot of music. Like Sling Blade has barely any background music. It's just like this is real life. Like when you're watching it, you're like, man, this could be a story you hear in a neighborhood that you might have grown up in, or something like that kind of thing.
It's like a slice of life kind of thing, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
that's really
absolutely.
what it is. It kind of comes. I've always kind of liked those where it's like the camera swoops in, it looks at somebody's life, and then it swoops right back out. You know, it's I think those are decent because the ending is always like, you know, it's up for interpretation by you. It could either be that everybody dies, or it could be, you know, everybody's happy and everything goes on forever. You know, I
Yeah,
mean, it's one of
that's
those things.
no, absolutely. That's one of my bucket list goals, is to discuss the movie Sling Blade with Billy Bob Thornton, like a one-on-one conversation with him about the
Yeah,
movie. Like I
yeah.
want to know more than you would get from any interview that he's done. I don't even want to interview him about it. I just want him to talk about where it comes from, what those people are, those characters, because all those characters are people. Those are somebody somewhere, some
Oh
part
yeah,
of his life
sure.
that he experienced. Whether it be Dwight Yoakam, he experienced that guy and how he is,
Well, I
or
bet he
he
did.
experienced somebody like Carl, or somebody like the mechanic at the shop. I'm sure he experienced all these people. I just want to know the source for these characters, and what they kind of mean, and how encompassing they were in his life in Arkansas. I'll stop talking about Sling Blade, but I'll leave it with the joke in the movie that every time I go to take a piss, I just think of this joke. It's the joke where he goes, there was these two boys. One of them was from California. The other boy was from Arkansas, and they were pissing off a bridge, and they're pissing off into a river on a bridge. And the old boy from California goes, dang, the water's cold. And the boy from Arkansas goes, yeah, and it's deep too.
So let's do this. We're gonna finish this one up, and you know, it's not like we're not gonna give it any. We're gonna give it our best to get to the end here, but
Yeah, for sure.
on Friday, there's a couple of things I want to watch, and I want to talk about a couple of other movies too, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you're cool with
yeah.
that.
We could talk about whatever.
This
Yeah,
would be one of them that just
not
kind of
for sure.
started.
I love
Okay.
talking movies.
All right. So we come back from commercial break, and Hank says,
And we're back.
tried to help my dad. Yeah, we're back. I tried to help my dad, and I made everything worse. Meeting O'Kelly has become his whole reason for living. Bill says, I got hit in the head, Hank. I can't hear too well. Is this butter or water? He's all, is this butter or water? The waiter comes up. By the way, they're sitting at El Shrimp Bucket restaurant. El Shrimp Bucket. The waiter comes up and says, may I have your coupons, please? He goes, we don't have any coupons. He goes, then what are you doing here? Like, it's got to be.
Hey, yeah, why are you here?
Yeah. Anyway, he leaves.
That's
He goes,
funny.
he's going to be devastated when he can't get on that damn yacht. I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to go the one place that can get something done about it. And he looks over and he sees an American flag. The next thing you see, they're at the American consulate. The guy at the consulate says, Mr. Hill, I've had a lot of complaints about timeshares, but it's pretty tough contracts to get out of. He goes, no, I already got him out of his contract. Problem is, my dad wants to be an El Presidente level member. He goes, oh, and they won't let him in because why won't they let him in? He goes, because you can't be an El Presidente member unless you buy a timeshare. He goes, so you want me to get your
Oh,
father an
no.
El Presidente for free? He goes, yeah, that'd be great. He goes, well, why don't we slap an embargo on all of Mexico until Rich lets him in? You know, starve him out. I'm kidding, Mr. Hill. Like, he can't do anything about this. It's a
Starve
private
him out.
business
That's
kind of
funny.
thing.
I
Yeah.
like that though. Starve him out.
All right, we go back. We're with Peggy, Bobby, and Dale. They are kind of scooching their way over to another pool. There's a family in it, just playing and enjoying the sun. Peggy sticks her head in and goes, well, hello there. We're your new next door neighbors. Bobby says, you're going to love us. And then the guy in the little family says, what happened to the Petersons? And then Dale, unclear. So what do you say? How about a swim? Neighbor? Start shaking the gate. They're just all like, oh my God, what's happening? All right. Now we are on the yacht. This is, or we're boarding the yacht. This is the big party that's coming up, the El Presidente party. And you hear Cotton say, "What do you mean I ain't on the list?" And the guy taking the ticket says, "I'm sorry, Colonel. This is very awkward. Awkward. Awkward is me slicing your belly open. Now let me on that yacht." And then men start to kind of drag him away, and he goes, "But I was handpicked by O'Kelly." Oh, when he makes that, that kind of
it's kind of disappointing because he just wants something, you know what I mean? He just wants to be something or a part of something.
He just wants to be. He just wants to belong. Now we're back at the big fountain in front of the fancy, swanky ass hotel. Bill looks like he has been beat up 400 times. Like he's got lumps on his face. He's got a black eye, all this stuff. He goes, "You just can't beat these guys, Hank." He goes, "Yeah, well, I got to find some way to get inside there." He goes, Bill says, he kind of says to himself, "Okay, one more time." He gets up to make a distraction. He goes, "I'm off to urinate on the statue of O'Kelly." And then all these guys start chasing him. So Hank is able to sneak in one more time. He goes up to Rich and he goes, "Look, Rich, I know I asked you to let my dad out of that timeshare, but I didn't realize how much El Presidente meant to him. Can you just let him back in so he can get back on that boat tonight?" He goes, "Hank, I'd love to, but I don't know. There's a lot of paperwork to do, not to mention some pretty steep express processing fees. Maybe there's a way we could overlook all that." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "If Cotton recommended someone who bought, say, I don't know, a week at El Grande Vista, maybe O'Kelly would reconsider him." He goes, "Oh God, no." It's because he knows he's going to have to take the hit for his dad.
Not only is he going to have to, he probably will.
He will. And the guy goes, "Hank, how much do you spend on a typical vacation?" Next thing we see, the guy with the messed up hair, the guy that got disheveled to sell something to Hank. He goes, "I can't thank you enough, Mr. Hill. I was about to lose my job and my wife. Oh, Gil." And then the guy behind him, Rich, he goes, "Save it, Jim. He's in the bag." He goes, "Oh, great. Sign here, here, and here." I mean, he just completely turns that character off. Hank signs. Now we're at the bar. Bill, again, beat the fuck up is how he looks. And
he's tore up. Yeah.
He goes, "Yep." And Bill's like, "Yep," like through all his injuries and stuff. And then they see Cotton. He goes, "Hey, Dad, so how was El Presidente? Did you get to meet O'Kelly?" He goes, "I wish I could tell you, boy, but to go to the El Presidente, what happens on that yacht stays on that yacht." He goes, "Hey, Rich told me you were going to buy a week here at Vista. Hell, that's great news." He goes, "Yeah, that's right, Dad." And then Rich from behind him, he goes, "Well, I'll leave you 2 owners. Please accept these coupons for a soup and half a sandwich."
What is this, Panera?
Cotton says, "Look how beautiful it is, boy. I told you I knew how to spend that money. Hell, Topsy couldn't have spent it better himself." He goes, "Nah, you're right about that, Dad. This is a great investment, I'll tell you what." And Bill, not getting what's going on, he goes, "But Hank, I thought you said Americans couldn't own land in Mexico." Oof. And he kind of kicks him. He goes, "Great investment."
Yeah.
And that's it. We get our credits. That is the end of season 9.
That's the end.
Episode 3. After the credits, we do here, just pour it in the snorkel, pour it in. But that is all of it. So we are well on our way through season 9 now.
We are.
And I think we're starting to get the hang of this.
We're getting there. We're somewhere in there.
If you guys want to hear more about this, where can they go, Rusty?
They're going to be WAAAKOTH at all social media. We'd prefer if you went over to youtube.com/@BWAAAKOTH. All of our content's there. We have audio only and video with audio and audio without video. So if you want to go check that out, you
all
go
the
to
options.
YouTube. And if you go over there, hit like, follow, subscribe, all those good buttons, and then hit the bell. You can get notifications anytime we go live. And we do go live every time we record. We've been doing that now for quite some time.
Yeah.
I think it's been a good long while since I think we started doing live around season 2 or 3.
We did. Yeah.
But we've been live since about season 2 or 3. So glad you could hang out with us for that long. If you've been here that long, if you haven't been here that long, we appreciate you either way.
It's been a lot of fun. All right, so we will be back on Friday. Obviously, we're going to talk some movies and a couple of other things. We're going to go over the episode titles for the new stuff. And we will see you on Friday. So that leaves us one thing left to say.
Oui, Matanya.
We Matanya indeed.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.